ASMR Magical Tools. Hello, welcome back. So for the readings for July of 2021, I'm going to be using the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, and I'm also going to be using the astrological oracle cards. These are the astrological signs, and they also have the planetary cards in here as well. So I will be using that for the 12 houses part of the spread. 12 houses part of the spread. Alright, so I'm going to try doing the cerromancy as part of the tarot videos. I have some beeswax candles here, and of course I will not need to burn the entire candle. I also have my scrying basin here, and I am heating it up over a candle warmer. I find that the wax spreads better if you have a candle warmer warming the water. We have these lovely fat taper candles. I am also going to be adding some of this super hit perfume oil to the water. Just a bit. The oil also helps the candle wax spread out. And it smells lovely. It smells very lovely. It actually does not smell very similar to the super hit incense. I'm not entirely sure why that is. Alright, so light the candle, and I'll let you set your intention. And then I'm just going to sit here with the candle gently poised over the basin, just like this. And these are, of course, beeswax candles. Beeswax, 100% beeswax. And continue to just kind of put your intention into the burning candle. almost like being in a trance. If you'd like, you can engage in some breathing exercises. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wonderful, wonderful. I think that we're almost done with the wax dripping. So, blow the candle out. Aries, welcome back. Let's get right into your reading. So, we're starting off in the current situation with, we have the Queen of Wands here crossing the situation. This could be you, because the Queen of Wands is fire sign energy. And it looks like you are coming out of a period of time where you felt trapped. We have the King of Wands in the reverse in the past. The King of Wands can be abusive. That's not necessarily the case. This King of Wands could also be creatively impotent in some way. But the fact that he's showing up in the reverse in the past, and that you're showing up as the Queen of Wands, crossing the situation in the present, this person could have been making you feel like you were trapped, or you could have been trapped in an energy of feeling like you couldn't get anything done. Also going on in the current situation, the truth of the matter, we have the Five of Pentacles, feeling left out in the cold from your perspective. The Nine of Swords, it looks like you have worried a lot about this issue, but that perhaps that worry is fading from your mind. And from the outside, it looks like you are celebrating something. The Four of Wands can also be a marriage card. It's a card of celebrations and marriages. The first in a trilogy, the ending of the first book kind of energy, because the Four is a completion, but it's not like a Ten of Wands, which would be much more final. In the future, we have the Queen of Cups. So it could come a time where you are able to share your nurturing energies with other people, share your love and emotions with others. The Queen of Wands is a very charming person, so at this phase, during this phase, in the current situation, you might be drawing people into your life with your charm, and in the future you will be keeping them there with your Queen of Cups, warm, loving energy. For your hopes and fears, we have the Knight of Swords in the reverse. The Knight of Swords is very concerned with justice and having everything be cut and dry. There is little gray moral area for the Knight of Swords. The King of Swords, of course, excels with gray moral area, but the Knight of Swords is very black and white with the way that they see the world, and therefore are championing causes from that standpoint. So you may have a fear that people will see what you have done and judge you harshly. Even though this is not a judgment card, even though this isn't the Justice card or the Judgment card, we still get that aspect of it. From the fire. Why do I say wands and fire when what I mean is air and swords energy? Here in the final outcome, we have the Page of Swords. So this Page of Swords is new ideas. And also the Page of Swords is kind of an amalgamation of the Ace of Swords and the Knight of Swords. So seeing the correct path forward and being able to take action. Page of Swords could also be impending surgery. So if any of you are trying to plan surgery, that might be how that's coming through. The goal or destiny, we have the Tower card, and it's in the upright here, so I think that there is a change coming in for you, which we're looking at the Imam Sili down here with the Five of Pentacles, and then going to this change from that up here in the midheaven range with the Tower card. So it should be a good change, even though things might be destroyed in the process. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Alright, so down here in the Imam Sili, we have Aquarius in the 3rd house and Taurus in the 4th house of home and family. So it looks like where you feel left out in the cold, Taurus is all about your stability stability in your life. It's a very fixed earth energy. So, it could be that you have a pretty good home life and that's not where you're feeling left out in the cold. In the third house, we have Aquarius. You might feel a little lost in the crowd, in your immediate surroundings, or in your communication. Or that because new things are coming in, it's disorienting. So up here in the 9th and 10th houses, surrounding the Tower card, we have Leo in the 9th and we have Capricorn in the 10th. Capricorn being in its native house of career. This Tower moment could have to do with career. And Leo being in the 9th house, we have Venus and Mars in Leo for most of the month of July. Okay, so during the next month, your passion and your creativity and romance might be the ways in which you elevate yourself. So look to your creativity if you are feeling stressed out about this Tower energy. As far as the past is concerned, we have Cancer at the beginning and Aries at the end. So this Cancerian energy was very prominent throughout the month of June. And it could be that because of that, we had Mars in Cancer, especially, even though Cancer is a water sign, this King of Wands in the reverse could very much be speaking to that Mars in Cancer energy, where people are very much in their feelings about things and possibly getting upset or offended and thinking mostly of their own part in a situation rather than how their emotions and behaviors affect others, right? At the ending, so toward the end of July, we have the Aries card coming out. So some of you might have Taurus rising, but the Aries card for this Aries Sun, Moon, and Rising reading coming out in the 12th house is mostly speaking to you returning to your sense of self by the end of July. In the future over here, we've got Virgo in its native, the 6th house, and we have Scorpio over here in the 7th house. So Scorpio is typically native to the 8th house, has to do with transitions, has a lot to do with sex, also other people's resources. And so it's almost like this contradiction between the Virgin and the slut. You might feel like you're balancing these energies very well with this Queen of Cups energy in the future. Virgo isn't just the Virgin. Virgo is a sign that is kind of known for being very analytically minded and detail oriented. So there's aspects of that as well. But kind of think of it as these being the two traits that you'll be embodying with this Queen of Cups energy, that you'll be balancing the strength of your feminine energies with Virgo, with your sexuality here with Scorpio. I'm not going to necessarily break down every single card here, since this is a general reading. Let's see about... Right, so we do get up here in the midheaven, we have Neptune and Uranus. Now these are outer planets, so these energies are very far away, and they are off in the future. We've got Uranus is in Taurus right now, and Neptune is in its native sign of Pisces. And I believe Neptune is going retrograde. Right, so June 25th, Neptune is going retrograde and will be retrograde until December 1st, actually. So a great bit of the year. Neptune is very good for intuition, so when it comes to this tower moment, whatever that might look like, and it may have to do with career, trust your intuition and be open to these new ideas with Uranus. Uranus and Taurus, again, people reconciling their need for financial security with the needs of everyone as a whole. Down here in the MMCLI, this is kind of what we're dealing with in the immediate, where we have that Five of Pentacles. We have Pluto here, and we have Mars over here, and then we also have Mercury. So remember that Venus is over here in Cancer, so Venus moving into Leo at the end of June. Venus was in Cancer for a lot of June, and we have Mars is going to be in Leo. Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn right now, so remember that that is causing career volatility for a lot of people. And then we have Mercury. Now Mercury will have been retrograde during the month of June, but in July will not be retrograde and will actually be moving into Mercury is in Gemini for the first part of July, and then July 11th, Mercury is going to enter Cancer. So that's going to be important for communication about your feelings, because while a lot of this has to do with your career, possibly, I feel like there are a lot of overtones having to do with your relationships with other people, romantic or like intimate relationships, because a relationship doesn't have to be romantic, right? It can also just be a very intimate friendship between two people. So keep these placements in mind, this Mars creativity and this Leo in the 9th house. Well, the Mars isn't the creativity part. The Mars is the push to action. Mars is a very action-oriented energy. So just be ready to strike when the mood takes you. Alright, Aries, well, that's going to wrap up your reading for the month of July 2021. If you enjoyed your tarot reading, please let me know down in the comments. When you do order personal readings, I will go into much more detail than I did here. I'm trying to keep the monthly readings a lot shorter in the interest of being able to fit everything into one video, because I get more views on the one video than I do on 12. So that's why I'm doing it this way from know that if you order a personal reading, I pull up your birth chart and I go into every single card and I go deep into the details. So that's what you're getting with a personal reading as opposed to the general reading. But I appreciate you joining me, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hello, Taurus. Let's get into your reading for July of 2021. This is going to be for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So, to start out, we have 2 3s here. We have the 3 of Pentacles in the reverse, but it is crossed by the Empress. It looks like you might be under scrutiny at work, but it is through no fault of your own. The Empress has a very manifest energy, that she's quite capable, she's very well educated, she has the capability of creating and manifesting anything that she desires. It could also be that you are coming under scrutiny at work because of your gender. So that could be a possibility as well. Here in the past, we have the 7 of Swords. So there could have been some betrayal, some kind of active betrayal that is still carrying over into the present situation. Here, also in the current affairs, we have the 4 of Pentacles. You could be holding on to something tightly, but it could also be urging you to save money. Save money up here in the goal or destiny, which is kind of like the outcome of this card here. We have the 6 of Wands reversed, so your victory in the future might be contingent upon your ability to save money now. Your perspective is the 10 of Swords, so some kind of ending there for you. It could be a very painful ending. We have, from the outside perspective, the King of Cups. You could be perceived as being someone who's very warm, very nurturing, and have control over your emotions. Here in the future, we have the Temperance card reversed. The Temperance card is not just about balance, and it's not just about patience. It's about the art of balancing these things. In some decks, the Temperance card is called art instead of called temperance. This is your hopes and fears. Sorry, there have been little flies in our apartment. You might hear them buzzing around the microphone from time to time, so I apologize for that. Your hopes and fears is the Death card in reverse. You fear stagnation. As I mentioned, in the goal or destiny position, you have the 6 of Wands reversed, which might mean, again, that it is contingent upon you conserving your resources appropriately, conserving them appropriately. And then in the final outcome, we have the 5 of Pentacles reversed. And this also might be contingent upon your ability to save. This 5 of Pentacles is in a direct line with the 10 of Swords. So if you are too wounded, you may not be willing to accept help from others. And that might put you in a 5 of Pentacles position. But I feel like these outcomes are not yet set, and that's why these cards are showing up reversed. And now I'm going to lay out the astrological signs and the planets. And if you were to get a personal reading, I would go much more in detail, but because this is a general reading and I want to be able to fit everything into one video for algorithm purposes, I'm going to focus on the highlights, and I'm not going to cover every single card. And again, as happened with Aries, Taurus is showing up here in the 12th house, showing that by the end of the month, you are coming back into your own energy. We have Virgo back here too. So you might have observed this betrayal with the Seven of Swords because of your focus on detail. You might be focused on details, and that is how you noticed that something was amiss. In the future over here, we have Libra in the 6th house, and we have Capricorn in the 7th house, and that is over here with this Temperance card reversed. So, balance in your daily routines, making sure that you are getting enough sleep, making sure that you are taking good care of your body, making sure that all of that is balanced in your daily routines and in your health. It could also be urging you to examine your partnerships in relation to your daily routines. The Capricorn showing up in the 7th house. So 7th house is not just your partnerships, but can be open enemies and can be court cases. Capricorn is how do you utilize these things to better your own life. So could be a recommendation to lean a little more on your partners when it comes to your professional success and achieving those goals. But really an urge to temper, to balance, to find that happy medium where no one is relying on you too heavily, nor are you relying on someone else too heavily. Down here in the area of the Imam Sili, we have Scorpio and Pisces, two very strong water sign energies, with this Four of Pentacles, which is urging you to conserve your resources. Scorpio can be about other people's resources too, so remember that that it's important to keep these things balanced, and if you are not getting back from other people what you are investing, that this is a time where you're going to need to conserve those resources. Pisces in the home and family life. So Pisces being a very intuitive energy, very psychic. It could be that you have things going on in your house which are requiring your attention psychically. Pisces can also be about endings. So there could be an ending in your home and family life. Up here in the midheaven, we have Aries in the 10th house of career, so that could be a new beginning. This is in direct opposition to the Pisces energy too, so that could be that cycle starting anew, the ending of this cycle and the beginning of a new cycle, and it having to do with both your career and your living situation. And then we have Aquarius here in the 9th house. 9th house is all of the things that you're doing to improve your life, to raise your vibration. Aquarius has to do with new ideas and the transmutation of those ideas across groups of people. Because when you release an idea out into a group, it is transmuted and transmogrified, much like the game of telephone. So this could be inviting you to take part in group discourse with others to elevate yourself, to elevate the self. Let's put the planets out there also. So, beginning in the end, we have the moon over here, and moon in Virgo energy. Let's see, when will the moon be in Virgo? In July. The moon will be in Virgo from the 13th to the 15th of July, and on the 15th, Chiron is also going retrograde, so keep that in mind. When it regards healing, bringing, and this would go along with this Seven of Swords energy, and what we were saying about your attention to detail, having brought this betrayal to light. So some kind of attention to detail on your part. Down here in the Imam we have the sun, which sheds light on everything. We have Saturn, which is currently retrograde in Aquarius. It's a very stuck energy, very established energy too. So it's slow, but it's also very good for being established. And that's what we're really going to want here, with you saving those resources. And then we also have Neptune showing up right there with Pisces, and that intuition. Really, really listen to your intuition at this time. In the future, we have Pluto, and we have Uranus. So, new ideas, being open to those new ideas. And remember that we have Pluto retrograde in Capricorn right now, so it actually came out right by Capricorn. And that this is going to cause a lot of volatility in the job market. It did in 2020, and it will again in 2021. Up near your midheaven, we have Mercury and Venus. And this is going to be encouraging you to be a strong communicator in your emotional relationships with people, whether that is romance or just intimate friendships. And that's going to be the key to bringing you this victory. Taurus, thank you so much for joining me for your reading for July of 2021. If you enjoyed this general forecast, please let me know down in the comments what resonated with you, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hello, Gemini. Let's get started with your July 2021 tarot reading. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So here in the current state of affairs, things look very good for you right now. We have the King of Wands crossed by the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups, of course, being the wish fulfillment card, and the King of Wands is someone who's very potent creatively and is capable of persuading people help them carry out their plans. Down here is more to do with the current state of affairs. In the past, we have the Queen of Swords. Gemini, as you are an air sign, this could be you in the past speaking your truth. The Queen of Swords is very concerned with speaking her truth personally, not as much concerned with the justice of the situation as with their own personal justice. Here in the current state of affairs, there could have been a treachery that was exposed, and it could have come about because you were speaking your own truth. So that's possible. From your perspective, there's hard work. You've been working very hard. From the outside perspective, it looks as though there is a great change occurring. Now remember that this is the outside perspective. This doesn't necessarily reflect to other people that there is a transformation. But that's not how you see it. You are seeing it as this hard work, hard labor, but rewarding labor because it's in the upright. In the future, we have this victory coming through for you, the Six of Wands. Your hopes and fears, you are hoping for justice, and you shall get it. Your outcome, your destiny is the Chariot card, which is another card of victory. If I can get it to focus. So actually it is a lot like this. It's very analogous to the Six of Wands here. And in the final outcome, you have this Knight of Cups reversed. So this is urging you to not let your emotions get the better of you. But as far as looking at how the current situation is going to lead to your future, I will tell you that the treachery being uncovered is what is leading directly to your victory. Okay, let's lay out the 12 houses, and I'm using the 12 astrological sign cards out of this deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if I were doing your personal reading, I would go very in-depth into each card. Excuse me. The air conditioning has been killing me. If I were doing your personal reading, I would go in depth into each card, but because this is a general reading and I'm trying to keep all of these in one video, I'm really just going to stick to the pertinent points. So, in the past, and wrapping back around again, so the ending of this situation, we have Libra coming out, and that will be justice for you. The beginning of this situation, we have the Leo card. So, remember, we have that King of Wands here in the current state of affairs also. But it could have been that you needed to put yourself out there in some way in order to speak your truth effectively. You can't just say it, you have to put it out there. So that could be why we're getting Leo energy there. In the future, we have this Six of Wands. And in the 6th and 7th houses, we have Virgo and Taurus energies. So Virgo showing its showing up in its native house, the 6th house. Virgo is a very analytical, detail-oriented astrological sign, and the 6th house has to do with daily routines and the health. So just make sure that you are paying attention to detail as far as that is concerned. Taurus showing up in the 7th house of partnerships. It could be that you're part of a very stable partnership, and that is why you are able to have this victory, is that a partner, either a business, romantic partner, is setting things up for you to have a stable life, that you are mutually working toward a goal, and that is what is setting the stage for you to have this success. This treachery down here in the current situation, like I said, it is possible that that's leading to this outcome here of the Chariot, this victory. So the cards that we have coming out in the 3rd and 4th houses, we have Aries and Scorpio. Scorpio has to do with other people's resources, so that's showing up in the house of home and family. It could be that you hold joint resources with a partner. And then Aries in the 3rd house could be a beginning to some kind of communication. We have a lot of swords here. Now, Gemini is an air sign, but I think that this is speaking specifically to some kind of new communication, so that because you put yourself out there, and we do have this King of Wands and the 9 of Cups there, this is actually just a very good reading for you, Gemini. That we're going to have you begin to expand your circles of communication, and your short distance travel possibly being affected by that too. Up here in the 9th and 10th houses, in the 9th house we have Pisces, so that is encouraging you to use your psychic intuition to raise your vibration. And then in the 10th house of career, that is where your card is coming out, Gemini. So that could be something to do with dualities. It could be something to do with siblings, like you could be going into business with a sibling or working with a sibling. It could just also have to do with the element of communication, that maybe you're going into communication as a field. It could also just mean that you are getting to do what it is that you want to do, because this is the Gemini reading. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And I'm going to lay the planets out here too. So here in the past we have Mars in Leo coming out. That Mars in Leo energy, which was very prevalent in the end of June and will be lasting throughout July, is going to give you the energy for creative endeavors that will help you carry through the month, and is very aligned with this King of Wands energy. King of Wands is definitely a very Mars in Leo energy. Down here at the bottom, we have a very similar configuration, I think, to maybe it was Aries. But we have the Sun, we have Saturn, and we have, no, I guess it was Taurus. Sun, Saturn, and Neptune. So, using your intuition when it comes to your home and family life. Saturn is a very established, very slow energy, so it might be that you are forced to take your time when it comes to exposing this betrayal and uprooting it. That the key is to taking things very slowly and unraveling it a bit at a time. The sun then also being shining light on situations. We have Mercury and the moon here in the future. So Mercury is native to Virgo. And again, that's just really encouraging you to pay attention to details when it comes to your daily routines and your health. And then we have moon in Taurus coming in the future as well, so that could be a time indicator for this victory. Let me see when the moon is going to be in Taurus in the month of July. Actually, from July 3rd until the 5th, the 3rd, so July 4th weekend, there could be a victory coming in for you. For you in America. That's highly patriotic. Way to go. So up here in the midheaven, we have Uranus and Venus. Venus being closer to the 9th house. So Venus in Pisces in the 9th house. It could be encouraging you to explore your psychic attunement with a romantic partner, or in regard to your feelings as well, to elevate yourself. And then if we have Uranus over here in Gemini in the 10th house, so Uranus could be new things, but it could also be related to groups and social media. So you could be looking at a career in social media of some kind with these cards showing up in the 10th house, and that being where your victory lies. Gemini, thank you so much for joining me this month at Gemini Sun, Moon, and Rising, your July 2021 tarot forecast. If you enjoyed your reading, please let me know what resonated with you down in the comments. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hello, Cancer. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month ahead of July 2021. So, in the past, we have this Queen of Pentacles. This could have been getting everything figured out financially so that you could have your independence and be prosperous. In the current state of affairs, we have the Eight of Pentacles, and it's in the reverse. And then that is crossed by the Knight of Swords. It could be that you see the injustices in the economy at this time and are kind of taking a step back from pursuing your long-term career goals. Also in the current situation, we have the Five of Swords. So this Five of Swords in the reverse, it's a victory, and it is a Pyrrhic victory for somebody. It might not be for you. This Knight of Wands energy, which is your energy that you're bringing to the current state of affairs, it seems like you have fizzled out. Your spark has kind of fizzled out. The Knight of Wands is fire energy, so typically it's coming in very hot and very aggressively. So you might have felt very defeated in the current situation. If I can get these cards to focus, please. There we go. Excuse me, sorry. outside perspective, you see the Death card, and the Death card is usually about transformation, but in this case, it could be that people feel like you are stagnating, or somebody perceiving you from outside might view you as stagnating. That's not necessarily the case, though. In the future, we have the Fool reversed. So, the Fool card is often about just going blindly forward into the future, but I think in your case that you will not be just wandering blind. I think that you'll be moving forward with precision and direction. Here, your hopes and fears, we have the World card reversed, and the World card is everything turning out great. Keeping in mind that the World card is also Saturnian energy, and that Saturn is currently retrograde in Aquarius, which is one of the fixed signs on this card. So that fixed energy being in a retrograde state, it's very stolid, very, it almost might feel like things are moving backwards. So because this is in a direct line with that Death card reversed, it may look like from the outside that you are moving backward, but that isn't necessarily the case. So in the final outcome, or the destiny, I guess this is the destiny position, we have the Five of Wands upright. So this is about rivalry. This is about the kind of training which molds you into a better warrior. And this is going to become the direct result of this Five of Swords, whatever this defeat was with the Five of Swords. That Five of Wands is going to be your recovery and your training anew. The final outcome, we have the Emperor reversed, and this Emperor reversed could be your potential to get your life back into order, because I see, like, in the past here where you had that Queen of Pentacles, things were very much in order, but because the Emperor is reversed, it's also that there's a harshness there. There is something about that situation which is very harsh and not forgiving to you, and that could be you to yourself. It could also be your outside circumstances. So now I'm going to lay out the 12 houses spread using this astrological deck and the astrology, the different signs. Let me just make sure I got my cards sorted properly. Okay. I do now. Okay. So that got a little bit jumbled up, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal. I want to point out at this juncture that if I were doing a personal reading, I would go much more in depth. But because of how I am doing the general readings and trying to fit everything concisely into one video and keep it very general so that more people can relate to it, I'm only going to deal with pertinent past, present, and future type energies. But if you get a personalized reading. I go very in-depth into all of the card meanings, regardless of placement. So just keep that in mind as I go through these. Back here in the past, where you had that Queen of Pentacles, we have the beginning of July, represented by Scorpio and other people's resources. And also sex can be part of that too, but I think in this case it's other people's resources. And then the ending, we have Taurus, which is you coming into a renewed stability in the future over here. Okay, we have Sagittarius in the 6th house and Leo in the 7th house. So this Leo could represent your partner, somebody creative. It could represent romance in the 7th house too, which is partnerships. So remember that Venus and Mars are both going to be in Leo throughout July, which is going to give you lots of opportunities for passion. July being your birthday month too, for those of you who are Cancer sun signs. So happy birthday to all you Cancer sun signs who will be celebrating a birthday in July. Sagittarius showing up in the 6th house. You might want to incorporate learning, like higher education, taking online classes, stuff like that, into your daily routines. Or you might want to look into more of a spiritual practice, or something even like yoga would fit in with the Sagittarian raising of the vibrations. This is all stuff having to do with raising your vibrations. It could be incorporating meditation into your daily routines, or yoga, or taking online courses or something like that. Down here in the current state of affairs, remember that the Imam Silai events are going to lead directly up here to the midheaven events in the future. So we have Virgo in the 3rd house and Libra in the 4th house. And Virgo in the 3rd house, pay attention to communication. Like, go through your emails very carefully. Pay attention to what you see in your neighborhood around you. It's attentiveness to detail. What are the resources that are available in your immediate surroundings? Could be a big part of that. It could also be, paying attention to, like, am I seeing much more, what looks like it could be gang-related graffiti in my neighborhood, or a lot more broken glass, or things like that also. Libra in the 4th house. This is home and family life and the partnerships within that home and family life. So those could be things that you are confronting at this time, where it looks like you have had a loss here. These might be assets that are still available to you despite this loss. Because if you see these people off in the distance who are being forced to leave, have left their swords here on the ground, so there is a discarding of some resources there. Up here in the midheaven, where we have the 5 of Wands, that's going to be some kind of rivalry, but also competition that will train you for better combat in the future. We have Pisces showing up in the 9th house, and we have Aquarius showing up in the 10th house of career. So again, Pisces is going to be using one's intuition to raise your vibrations. You might even try out something like intuitive eating to see how that works for your body. Aquarius in the 10th house, you could be working in social media. You could be working in a field where they are really pioneering new technologies and new ideas also. Or Aquarius could be there because you could be going into a field that you've never explored before. And so now I'm going to put out these planetary cards and see what we have there. In the past here we have Mercury and Neptune, so communication through psychic means could have been part of your past. Here we have that Queen of Pentacles. Here we have the Scorpio card. So a Mercury and Scorpio energy in the past. There might have been curiosity surrounding different things having to do with sex. It could also be communication about other people's resources or swift transitions. So all of those things are possibilities with that energy. Down here we have Venus and the Sun and Pluto. Regarding this, what might have been a defeat for you of some kind. The Sun is shining light directly onto that, and keep in mind that the current time will be July, which is a month when a lot of Cancers celebrate solar return. For those of you who are Cancer sun signs, so that would be shining light directly on this at this time. We have Venus, which is love, and we also have Pluto over here, speaking about transitional energies. And remember that we had this, people are perceiving you to be stagnating, but I don't think that that is the case. We also have Cancer over here near this Pluto energy. Remember that Pluto is actually retrograde in Capricorn right now, so that would be in opposition to Cancer energies. So keep that in mind, that you're going to be working uphill a little extra because you do have Cancer in your chart. So over here in the future we have Jupiter, and we also have Mars, and Mars is coming out here kind of near Leo in the 7th house. Mars is going to be in Leo throughout the month of July. And that is that creative passion, that creative spark, the energy to take part in projects that you enjoy. We also have Jupiter in Sagittarius over here, so there could be some kind of expansion related to your daily routines or your health also, so keep an eye out for that. Jupiter can be wealth, it can also be expansion. And then up here in the midheaven area, we have Uranus and Saturn. Saturn is retrograde in Aquarius right now, and that is a very slow-moving fixed energy. So, for you to have experience with psychic communications in your past will aid you at this time, because this Saturn energy is very slow moving and it's very resistant to change. So you shouldn't have to need to teach yourself psychic attunement at this time, because you will find that the way very slow going. You're going to want to draw on your intuitive resources that you've used in the past. We do have Uranus here in Aquarius in your house of career. So again, this is the energy of the iconoclast. Uranus is native to Aquarius, and that's going to set you up very well for dealing with these group dynamics like that in the future. Cancer, thank you so much for joining me for your reading. If you're a sun sign, your birthday reading. Although this reading is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of July 2021. If you enjoyed it, please let me know what resonated with you down in the comments. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hi Leo, welcome back. Welcome back. This is going to be for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of July 2021. Ooh, Wheel of Fortune. Very cool. So, in the past, we have the Fool card. You could have been required to take a leap of faith to move forward, or you may have taken a leap of faith, and the results of that are unfolding now. So, in the current position, we have the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and we have the Emperor crossing that. It could be that you are not financially where you would like to be, that you wish you had more financial independence, but still not in a very bad place as far as your money is concerned. The Emperor is also about having control over your own life and rule by divine will, right? So, you could be trying to institute order over your existence. From your perspective, I think you see yourself as being very balanced at this time with the Two of Pentacles here, that you are achieving the balance you desire. From the outside perspective, we have the Ten of Cups reversed. So typically the Ten of Cups is about the ending of an emotional cycle. This could be the end of a relationship, but it could just be the end of a particular cycle within a relationship. And then in the middle we have the Five of Wands. Now typically this is about rivalries and practice combat. But training up to be a better warrior, it looks like the need for that is over. That there's no longer a need for you to feel like you're competing with others. And that perhaps comparing yourself to other people is actually holding you back. So in the future, we have the World card. And the World card is about everything working out to your best interest. And one aspect of the World card, she is Saturn energy. And you have the 4 fixed signs in the corners of the card. And so down here in the corner of the card is Leo's energy showing up as this fixed sign. So Saturn is currently retrograde in Aquarius. And Saturn will be retrograde in Aquarius until early to mid-October, so October 11th. So this could be providing a time frame for you as well. If you think about the World card reversed as being Saturn retrograde, the World card upright could be representing Saturn going direct in October, and could be giving you a time frame for when the future events will be taking place. For your hopes and fears, we have the Nine of Cups first. I think you're afraid that everything is going to be almost perfect. That you will get so close to having everything that you want, but still be so far away. I don't think that's the case here. We have a lot of really good cards. We have that World card in the future, and that is upright. And we have the Wheel of Fortune coming out in your goal or destiny, and that is also upright. And that is going to be a direct result of you leaving these rivalries and this competition behind, and just completely cutting that out of your life and understanding why it does not have a place in your existence. The final outcome card, we have the Three of Cups. This is about forging very close friendships with other people. This is not necessarily group dynamics, right? This is three women who are very close friends. So this doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have a wide social net. It means that you will have people who are very close to you, who mean a lot to you in your life. Let's see what else is going on here. I'm going to use these astrology cards, and Leo, I'm going to point out at this time that if you were to get a personal reading from me, that I would go very much into detail with these cards. But that because this is a general reading, I wish you wouldn't slam that gate. Sorry about that. Because this is a general reading, I'm only really going to deal with the past, present, and future pertinent energies. So, here in the past, we have Aries at the beginning and Scorpio circling around at the end. So, at the end of the month of July, I know that some of you will be celebrating birthdays, so my late July Leos, I'd like to wish you a happy birthday. I hope you have a good solar return. This Scorpio could be a transition energy. It could be about secrets, and it could also be about your sex life. So those are the possibilities coming through at the end of the month. The beginning of the month, we have a good, strong beginning energy with Aries. And this Aries energy, even though Aries and the Fool are not necessarily correspondent to each other, you could see a lot of analogy there in that Aries is about very strong beginnings, and we have that strong beginning energy here with the Fool and moving forward without worrying too much what the outcome is going to be. So over here in the future, we have Aquarius in the 6th house and Cancer in the 7th house. Cancer is very much about the reciprocity of feelings. So in your relationships, you might be working very hard at understanding each other. If you're in a romantic relationship, this could be about business partnerships or intimate friendships as well. But that you work very hard to understand your partner. And then Aquarius showing up in the 6th house. So this is going to be your daily routines and your health. It might be a good time for you to work finding new groups of people into your daily routines. So if you are going to plan to go to the beach, for example, or and you know that a lot of people are going to be there. I live in Los Angeles, and it's, very crowded here, so you know that anywhere you go, it's probably going to be very crowded, and a lot of people are going to be there. Like going to Disney World. It could even be daily routines regarding your social media presence, and working a little bit on something every day regarding that. But putting yourself in situations where you have the opportunity to meet these new people that are going to be an important part of your future. Down here in the Imam Seli area, we have Pisces in the 3rd house, and then we have Capricorn in the 4th house of home and family, and that would be Capricorn in its detriment, because that would be the opposite house. But it's possible that Capricorn is showing up here because you will have a situation arise for you where you are able to work from home. And that, of course, would do away with a lot of that infighting that you see in atmospheres in offices, and having to go into a place of business. And it would make it much more important to integrate being around people into your daily life, because you wouldn't be getting that from a work environment. Having Pisces there in the 3rd house, inference being the truest form of communication, right? Use your intuition when it comes to your communication with other people. It's important to, of course, always say what you mean and not leave anything up to your inference. But it's also okay to use your psychic intuition when you are communicating with other people in order to really understand where they might be coming from. Remember, though, to verify any intuitive inclinations that you have with them verbally, so that you do have a true understanding of each other. This is going to lead directly to the actions and circumstances up here in the midheaven. So now in the 9th house we have Taurus, and in the 10th house we have Virgo. That's going to be an attention to detail in career. And we have Taurus, which can be about your stability in life, coming from your elevation of your vibration. Anything that has to do with raising your vibration or reaching for your higher self. So it could be that that part of your life is stabilizing at this time. Leo, thank you so much for joining me for your reading today. Let me pull out some planet cards for you. I nearly forgot. I don't know if you caught that or not. Let's see. Again, I'm going to put these out, but I'm really only going to read the pertinent past, present, and future energies. So, not every card is going to get covered in detail. Back here in the past, we do have Neptune by Scorpio, so at the end of the month, you could be using that psychic intuition to intuit secrets that people might be keeping from you. We have Moon in Aries energy here at the beginning of the month. Let's see at what point is the Moon going to be in Aries in July. That is going to be in fact, it will be the beginning of July, so it will be Friday the 2nd through Sunday the 4th, going into 4th of July weekend for those of you in the United States. So we are starting proper at the beginning of the month. And that's just confirming that. In the future, we have the sun, and the sun is showing up next to Aquarius. And then we have Pluto, and Pluto's showing up next to Cancer. So remember that Pluto is in Capricorn right now, and it's retrograde. And that has been kind of messing up a lot of people's career energies, because Pluto's a very transitional energy, and it being in Capricorn in the house of career, or in the sign relating to practicality and career matters, rather. That, and this has been going on since last year. So just keep that in mind. But the sun is going to be shining light on these situations for you at this time. And we also get a little bit of timeline here where, remember, we had Aquarius in the 6th house. So the sun coming out next to Aquarius could be telling you that a lot of these things will be coming around by Aquarius season next year, which would be around late January into February is when the sun is going to be in Aquarius again. Down here at the bottom, we've got this very masculine trifecta of Jupiter, Mars, and Saturn. So encouraging you to leave this pugilistic behavior behind and not worry about what other people are doing. Mars is going to be in Leo throughout the month of July, giving you that energy for that creative spark to move you forward. Saturn is a very slow-moving and established energy, so that being good for your home life. It's over here by where you had Capricorn in the 4th house. So it could be that you already have habits established in your home life that are going to make it a very conducive work environment for you. And then we also have Jupiter over here. So there could be expansion of your short distance travel. It could be expansion of communication also. And Jupiter is retrograde in Pisces right now, so it did come out right by Pisces. So paying attention to that intuition as well when it comes to communication is going to be important. Up here at the top, we have Mercury and Venus coming out right next to each other. Mercury being close to Virgo in the 10th house. That could have to do with learning new things, learning new techniques for your job. Really enforcing that attention to detail and communicating about these matters. And then Venus in Taurus here in the 9th house could also have to do with love, your affection for other people, helping you reach a point of stability in your journey to enlightenment. I also want to point out that up here, near the midheaven, so this Wheel of Fortune is going to be the direct result. Fortune will turn in your favor if you turn your back on that rivalries and infighting. And we also have Mercury in one of its native houses, or one of its native signs, which is Virgo. And then Venus in its native sign of Taurus. So, I think this Wheel of Fortune is also reminding you to be true to your native energies and really capitalize on your strengths that way. Alright, Leo. Well, thank you for joining me for your July 2021. Some of you, it will be a happy solar return reading, but this is a reading for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If this reading resonated with you, please let me know down in the comments. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hello, Virgo. Welcome back. Welcome back. Excuse me. So this is going to be for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of July in the year 2021, and that is the Gregorian calendar. I just feel like I should specify that I am using the Gregorian calendar for these readings. Alright, Virgo. So, here in the current situation, we have the Nine of Pentacles reversed, and it is crossed by the Page of Swords. So, the Nine of Pentacles is all about financial stability, and I think that at this current time, you are not as financially stable as you would like to be. Now, this Page of Swords can be about new ideas. This could be how you are showing up if you have prominent air energy in your chart as well. So this is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So look at your other chart placements also. The Page of Swords is new, fresh ideas. Somebody coming into a company and bringing new ideas into that company would be Page of Swords energy. Page of Swords can also be seen as an amalgamation of Knight of Swords energy and Ace of Swords energy, and taking action on a new beginning and changing one's life using that energy. In the past, we have the Moon card, and it's showing up reversed, if it's showing up at all. Let's see if I can get it to show up. Sorry. There we go. Okay. So the Moon card showing up reversed, it could be that there were secrets, or that there were things that were not clear, and that you have clarified them at this time. In the current situation, we have the Five of Swords, and this card is showing up upright. So this Five of Swords energy is an energy of victory, but it is victory at the expense of friendships. So it could be that you had a conflict with somebody else and they ended up walking away. That's possible. But it can also be, now the Five of Swords is a very definite energy, but keep in mind too that if you are coming with this Page of Swords energy and you're making changes in your life, positive changes, for your own benefit, that sometimes people end up falling away from you because of that as well. So keep that in mind. Your energy that you're bringing to the situation is the King of Swords reversed. This is from your perspective. Now, this King of Swords in the reverse is a very harsh card. This is somebody who's very harsh with their words, and they're very harsh when it comes to cutting things out of their life. So that might be something which you are doing at this time. From the outside looking in, we have this Four of Wands reversed. The Four of Wands can be a card of marriage. So when it would show up in the reverse here, that could signify possibly a divorce. It's also a card of celebration, so people could just perceive that you are not having very much fun right now. In the future, we have the Four of Swords, which is a card of rest. Virgo, so far we have a lot of swords in your reading, so if you have air sign in your chart, check what those placements are. You might want to also watch those videos, as it might give you extra insight. But the Four of Swords is a period of rest coming up in the immediate future. Your hopes and fears. We have the Two of Pentacles, that you are hoping for balance in your life. So the outcome of this victory for you is represented by your destiny, which is the Four of Pentacles, holding on to something or conserving your resources. And then in the final outcome position, we have the Six of Wands in the reverse, and that is a card of victory. Now, because it is in the reverse, also look at how it is diagonal to the outside perspective of you not having very much fun right now. So, I think that the Six of Wands is a victory that will eventually be attained in the future, but that the terms of that victory have not yet become apparent. So, you have had this one victory, but it might not feel much like a victory because it seems like you are probably losing some friends, having friends fall away from you. I don't have the Hermit card coming out in this reading, but because we do have that Four of Swords showing up here, it could be that you are withdrawing from certain friend groups at this time. So now I'm going to lay out these astrological cards. And Virgo, if you were to get a personal reading from me, I would go much deeper into the details of each individual card. But because this is a general reading and I want to fit all of them together into one video, I am going to focus on the past, present, and future energies. And so some of the other houses, like the second, fifth, well, basically the fixed sign houses, I'm going to leave those out of the reading, and I'm going to kind of read cards in groups. You'll see what I mean. So here in the beginning and the end, the beginning we have Taurus. So we already saw with that Nine of Pentacles in the reverse that in the beginning of July you will be seeking stability. That will be a focus for you, and also probably your finances and stability, and how you would like to improve that sector of your life. In the end of July, we have the Aries card, so that could be the beginning of a new cycle for you. It could also be you focusing on yourself. Here in the future, we have Gemini in the 6th house and Aquarius in the 7th house. So, with Gemini in the 6th house, that being your daily routines and your health. There might be a lot of communication there. Gemini also has to do with siblings, and it has to do with how are we different from the people around us? What separates us from the people around us? So that might become part of your daily routines and your health regimen. In the 7th house, we have Aquarius. So whereas 7th house is typically 2 partners, in your case, you might be looking more at group dynamics than you would be looking at your relationship to a romantic or a business partner on a one-on-one basis. This could be dating many people. It could be a new partner coming in, because Aquarius is also new energy. It could also be communicating with a potential romantic partner through social media. Or if you are waiting for the outcome of a court case. So 7th house is also legal matters, so it could be things related to social media or groups that is arbitrated that way. Let's look down here. Near the midheaven, we have Leo in the 3rd house and Cancer in the 4th house. Leo in the 3rd house, you're going to be putting yourself out there a lot more as far as communication is concerned, and can also have to do with your immediate surroundings, like your neighborhood and short distance travel. You're just going to be a lot more out there and available as far as that is concerned. So it might be that you are removing yourself from immediate social groups and putting yourself out there more in a general sense, and becoming slightly less attainable because of that. Like going up a tier in fame or something like that. Cancer showing up in the 4th house is good because that is Cancer in its native house. So that will be very good for your home life. That you might still have the opportunity to spend time at home. All of these things down here in this position of the Imam Silai are going to directly result in what is happening up here in the midheaven. So in the 9th house you have Libra, and in the 10th house you have Sagittarius. So your work at this time might also, whatever your career path is, might be elevating your vibration also. And that Libra in the 9th house is going to be looking to partnerships for enlightenment also. And both of these things urging you to hold on to your resources. So it seems like you are going to be putting yourself in a position where you are getting more from a large group of people than you are necessarily giving to any one other person. It's kind of the parasocial relationship that I feel with this YouTube channel, that I am giving you the tarot readings and the videos and things like that, but from you I get a lot of support. And so it's that kind of relationship, more like a parasocial relationship, I think, is what you're priming yourself for in the month of July, Virgo. And finally, let's look at these planetary planetary cards. And again, if this were a personal reading, I would be going into much more detail, but I'm really going to focus on overarching energies here. So, in the past, we have the Sun and we have Neptune. And so Neptune at the beginning of the month, that you're being very intuitive when it comes to your finances, and kind of using that intuition to know what the right way is to move forward. Now keep in mind that you can always fact check this. You know, there are things that are really going to, you know, trust your gut to some extent, but there is going to be empirical evidence to back it up at some point. In the future, we have the moon coming out near Aquarius, and we also have Mars coming out here in Gemini. In the month of July, Mars is going to be in Leo, and so that's going to give you the creative push that you need to move forward. The moon is going to be in Aquarius. When is that going to occur? In July. So in the month of July, the moon will be in Aquarius from the 23rd. We're going to have the full moon in Aquarius on Friday the 23rd. So that might be a day to pay attention to. It's going to be kind of like in the middle, near the end part of July, when some of these things come through. That might be telling you about when you will have this time of rest. With the Four of Swords, down here near the MMC we have Mercury, we have Pluto, and we have Uranus. So Pluto has been in Capricorn for the past year, since like February, I think, of 2020. And it is retrograde in Capricorn right now, which has kind of been creating a lot of transitional energy in people's careers and in their professional lives. Mercury and Uranus on either side of this also is going to open up a lot of communication energy, a lot of new ideas, and things like that. So that will be very good for you to move forward into your future energies. Up here we have Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn. So that is going to be the direct result of everything that's going on here in the current state of affairs. And Venus is actually very good for money. So having Jupiter and Venus up here near this Four of Pentacles, where you're wanting to conserve your resources in the future, or hold on to your resources, or be able to hold on to your resources. If you've been living paycheck to paycheck, this is going to be a very good card for you, because it means that you'll finally be able to set money aside and grow your wealth in the future. And having Saturn there as well is going to be a very established energy for you. Virgo, thank you so much for joining me, Virgo Sun, Moon, and Rising, for your July 2021 tarot reading. If this resonated with you, please let me know down in the comments. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hello Libra, welcome back, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This will be your tarot forecast for the month ahead of July 2021. So, and that's Gregorian calendar. Gregorian. Alright, so let's leap right in. current situation, High Priestess card, current situation, and the Four of Swords. So, right now, you have the High Priestess, so you could be holding on to a lot of secrets or a lot of hidden knowledge at your fingertips. And because we have that Four of Swords showing up here, it looks like this is also a time of rest for you. You're just chilling with all your secrets. In the past, we have this Tower moment. So this particular Tower moment has resolved, but we do still have a lot of transition going on for you because we have the Death card showing up here in the current situation. From your perspective, this is the Three of Wands, and you are waiting for something to come in for you. You're waiting for something to happen, whether that is getting a new job or moving into a new house or something like that. That will be occurring for you during the month of July. From the outside perspective, you have the Sun card, and it is reversed here. Now, the Sun card is always good when it shows up in a reading. So from the outside of your life looking in, people see that your life is almost perfect. Almost perfect. In the future, we have the Judgment card, and it's reversed. If I can get this to show up. So, sorry, I have a bug swarming around me as well. There we go. This Justice card, this Judgment, card is showing up reversed. This is a trial that you will have to go through. A test of some kind. This could be something like the bar exam, or if you are taking your test to get your real estate license, or if you're getting ready to graduate. As you can see, the card does not want to focus, which means that the outcome of this test is still hazy, and it's showing up in the reverse. So that's reinforcing that the outcome of whatever this test represents is not known this time, is going to be contingent upon your actions moving forward. This is up to you whether you pass or fail this test. Your hopes and fears. You hope for the world. Now the World card is, this is the end of a cycle. This is Saturnian energy. And for it to be in your hopes and fears, it's very much like how the Sun card is showing up here. You are hoping for perfection, completion, closure. So the direct outcome of this transition that we are seeing, the transformation with the Death card, is going to be the Hermit. That you are then either taking some time to seek answers on your own, be away from other people, possibly go into seclusion, but remember that the Hermit does have this. I am having so much trouble getting my camera to focus right now. I apologize, Libra. The Hermit has this lantern, which is the light of enlightenment. So, even though you might have withdrawn from others, you might still be shining that beacon for others. And in the final outcome, we have the Nine of Cups. And this, I feel, is reversed for the same reason that the Judgment card here is in the reverse. That there is going to be some trial during the month of July, which you have to pass. And that everything else is test. So now I'm going to put the astrological cards into the 12 house positions. And Libra, if you were to get a personal reading from me, I would go very in-depth into each one of the cards. But because this is a general reading, and I want to fit all of the readings into one video, I'm going to mostly deal with the past, present, and future energies, and will not go in depth into every single card, okay? But if you get a personal reading from me, I will do that. So back here in the beginning and the end, the beginning of July, we are looking at Taurian energies seeking financial stability, and probably also seeking stability after this Tower moment, because it is a time of rest for you, but you are kind of between transitions. We have that Tower in the reverse here, and we have the Death card up right here. At the end of July, we have the Virgo energy coming in, and Virgo is about paying attention to detail and being analytical. Alright, so that's going to be important for you around the end of the month. We also have Virgo's card here in the goal or destiny, the midheaven position, with that Hermit card. So, then in the future, we have two water signs here in the future. We have Cancer in the 6th house, which is about your daily routines and your health. And we have Pisces in the 7th house, which has to do with your partnerships. So encouraging you to use a lot more of your psychic intuition when it comes to your one-on-one relationships, whether that is a romantic or a business partner or even an open enemy, right? And then Cancer in the daily routines and the health. Cancer would be urging you to pay more attention to your emotions and how you are feeling, not like with intuition, what you get as a gut feeling, but more like, I have a headache, maybe you should take a nap or eat something or drink some water. Cancer being paying attention to your physical body, and Pisces being paying attention to your gut feelings when it comes to other people. Down here in the Imam Sili position, so these are the current events that are going to lead directly to the outcomes that we see up here in the midheaven, right? We have Capricorn in the 3rd house, and we have Sagittarius in the 4th house of home and family. So it could be that there are spiritual pursuits or higher education pursuits that you are taking part in from the comfort of your own home. And then Capricorn showing up in the 3rd house, having to do with communication about work, possibly, practical matters, short distance travel. This could be about share services, or if you do like some kind of delivery job, that would be a possibility for that as well. And remember that a lot of transitions are going to be coming about because of that, or in the middle of that, concurrently. Correlation, of course, does not always equal causation, so I have to remember that when I'm giving you these readings. I apologize apologize. My sink has an upset stomach. Up here in the midheaven. So remember, we have your Hermit card up there. And we have Leo showing up in the 9th house. So in order to raise your vibration, it might be important for you to put yourself out there. There's a lot of like intricate stuff going on here because on the one hand you have the High Priestess card and you have the Hermit card, which are very tucked away kind of energies. You have the Four of Swords here also, that seem like a secluded kind of an energy, but then you also have that you might benefit from putting yourself out there in some way. Now remember that you can also do this online, whether that is putting artwork up online or music or other creative things that you've done. Leo also has to do with creativity. So it could be that at this time, your path to enlightenment is going to come from your creativity. We have Gemini showing up in the 10th house here. And Gemini has to do with siblings, it has to do with immediate surroundings, communication, and things like that. So it could be that your career destiny is something in the field of communication. And now I'm going to put out the planetary cards. So back here, kind of close to the past, we have Mercury, and Mercury is pretty close to where Virgo is also. Remember, Mercury is native to Virgo, but this could have been new ideas coming in. Mercury is a very swift energy, and we're looking at that in the context of this end of the month, paying close attention to things. Maintain this High Priestess energy, this Hermit energy, even in your communication. In the future, we have the Sun and we have Pluto. Now remember, Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn at this time, which has caused a lot of transition in people's career and professional lives. The Sun in Cancer, so this is going to be the predominant energy throughout the month of July, because that's when that's when the Sun is going to be in Cancer. So really pay attention over the summer to how your body feels and make sure that you are giving your body the things that it needs to function properly. This Jupiter energy over by Taurus, there is an expansiveness with Jupiter. So there could be a windfall for you at the beginning of the month, but I'm not getting a strong impression of that right now, so take that as you will. Mars down here in the Imam Selai. So we have the Death card down there, and that transition is going to be setting you up for everything that's going to occur up here in the midheaven, right? Mars is going to be in Leo throughout the month of July, and that is going to be providing you with the creative spark that you're going to need to go the distance during this transition. And it's very interesting that we do have this Four of Swords coming out here, showing that you're going to have a rest, because this is not a very restful reading so far. We kind of have the Moon and Neptune up here in the midheaven with the Hermit moon is like, the moon and Neptune are like two octaves of the same note. So the moon being the lower octave and the Neptune being the higher octave is really encouraging you to tap into your intuition, listen to your emotions, listen to how you feel, and just be checking in with yourself a lot. I encourage you, if you do not have a pendulum, well, everybody has some kind of thing they could use as a pendulum in their house, but I encourage you to acquire a pendulum. Notice that I said acquire, not necessarily purchase. You can always use a necklace as a pendulum if you have a necklace which you resonate with deeply. Pendulums are very good to help you with discernment and checking your intuition. You can look at which direction they go. You can look at if you're getting a yes or a no answer. If you feel something in your gut, you can ask it as a positive yes or no question. You want the affirmative answer to be yes. So you don't want to ask something like, am I not going to get X, Y, or Z? You want to ask it like, am I going to get X, Y, or Z? So that you're able to get an affirmative, clear answer. Affirmative and clear. Alright, Libra, thank you so much for joining me for your reading for July 2021. This has been for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. If you resonated with this reading, please let me know down in the comments. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hi, Scorpio. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. This is going to be for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month ahead, which is July of 2021. Scorpio, you are coming out in this reading with your card right off the bat of the Death card. The card is in reverse. You could be feeling like you are stagnating right now. You could be feeling kind of stuck. Or you could feel like you are poised for a great change. There's going to be great finesse required to tip this over in just the right way, to have it work out the way you want it to. So we've got the Temperance card crossing. In the past, nightmares. We have the Nine of Swords here. There could be things that you were greatly worried about in the past, and you are no longer as worried about those things. Here in the current situation, this is the truth of the matter, and it is what is going to be setting you up for what occurs here in the future. The Seven of Pentacles reversed. I always refer to this as the Quit Your Job card when it comes out reversed like this. So, a lot of work that has led to not an adequate amount of payoff for the amount of work that you've put in. From your perspective, the Ten of Cups, it could be time for an emotional cycle to end for you. And this can be the end of a relationship, but it could also be the end of just a time in your life, or a time in a relationship, a cycle within a relationship. But this could be the end of feeling bad about how you look also. It could be the end of hating a situation. Maybe you leave that situation, or maybe you just move on emotionally. There are a number of ways that can work. From the outside, the Three of Wands, you're waiting for something to happen. People see that you are waiting for something to happen in your life. Here in the future, we have the Lovers card. So this has to do with a choice possibly, but it could be a new romantic relationship coming into your life as well. We'll find out more about that shortly. In the hopes and fears, we have the Queen of Cups in the reverse. I think your fear is that people will find you emotionally cold or emotionally unavailable. Probably as a result of some of these different situations that you're going through right now. So the direct result of this Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, this could be you quitting your job. And then in the midheaven position, we have the Four of Cups upright. This is many choices, or, like a handful, I guess, really, of choices being available to you and you not being terribly interested in any of the ones in front of you. There is an ideal one over here, but he's not even looking at that one right now. So that could be a job search potentially, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. Again, this is a general reading, so it could be a situation that is parallel to that also, that you've put in a lot of work for something and it hasn't paid off yet the way that you would like, and so you are seeking out other options. The final outcome, we have the Nine of Wands, and this card is in the reverse. So down the row here, we have two nines in the reverse. We have that Nine of Wands and the Nine of Swords, and then kind of culminating with your energy of the Ten of Cups and needing to end an emotional cycle of some kind. So these concerns could be making you overly defensive, but that in the future perhaps you are able to let this guard down in a way that makes you emotionally available to other people, emotionally available to others the way you would like. Let's look at these astrological cards. This is what I'm using for the 12 houses layout. Now, Scorpio, if you get a personal reading with me, I go through every single card and I describe it in great detail, but because I am working on condensing these readings and because they are general readings, I am only going to focus on the past, present, and future relevant cards, and then if anything else jumps out at me, so I'm not going to go through each and every card. I'm just going to focus on the energies as a whole and look at them in the context of past, present, and future. But know that if you get a personal reading with me, that I will go through each and every card. So here in the past, and also circling around to the future, the beginning and the ending of the month. The beginning of the month we have Aries, so that's a good strong beginning energy, especially because we have this transition which you are poised upon. I feel like, when that begins is going to be up to you. Circling back around to the end of the month, we have Taurus, which could be a good stabilizing energy for you. At the end of July, in the future, we have Aquarius in the 6th house, and then we have Libra in the 7th house, so there could be a focus on partnerships for you this month. Aquarius in the 6th house, you could change up your daily routines or your health routines, and you might also be trying brand new things. Down here in the realm of, I call this the Imam Silai, in the context of the 12 houses spread. These are going to be the events that contribute directly to what ends up happening up here in the midheaven, right? So we have that Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. We also have Capricorn in your third house. That could be some kind of rideshare service that you're working for, or some kind of communication firm that you might be working for. Some kind of courier job as well, because with the third house you're looking at communication and you're also looking at short distance travel and things in your neighborhood, so something like that. And then with Capricorn you have practical career energies coming through. In the fourth house of home and family you have Pisces, which is about intuition and endings. There could be an ending to a situation regarding your home life, especially if there is an emotional cycle that needs to come to an end. It might be linked to your home and family life. So up here in the midheaven, which is going to be kind of like your goal and destiny, we have that Four of Cups. We have Leo in the 9th house, and we have Sagittarius in the 10th house, which is very similar, I think, to the Libra cards in those placements. So, Leo in the 9th house, it could be that your creativity or romance is what is elevating your consciousness right now, and that to achieve your higher self, you're going to want to focus on your creativity during the month of July. Sagittarius showing up in the 10th house, aspects of your career could be tied up in your elevation of the self as well. So that you want a job that is fulfilling to you spiritually. And that could be showing up with that Sagittarius in the 10th house here. Let's look at the planets in relation to this spread. So the end of the month, we're looking at the moon in Taurus. Let's see what time the moon will be in Taurus in the month of July. The moon is going to be in Taurus over the Independence Day weekend. And then actually the moon will be in Taurus again at the very end of July, from the 30th of July until August 1st. So, just to give you kind of an idea that a lot of these energies are going to seem very cyclical for you this month, and watching things come back around again, especially as it relates to your finances and your stability in life. We also have Uranus here in the past, so it could be that all of this was sparked off by an idea of some kind, or from a group of people. Uranus is the iconoclast, so the origins and beginnings of this might be in your refusal to conform to societal norms. In the future, we have Mercury and Pluto. And Pluto has been showing up in the future for a lot of people. Pluto is in Capricorn right now. Sorry that I can't talk. Pluto is in Capricorn right now, and it is retrograde, and that has been greatly affecting a lot of people's career and professional life energies for the past almost a year and a half now. And Pluto is going to continue to be in Capricorn, I think, for the rest of this year. Right, so through the end of the year at least, and on into 2022, Pluto is going to be in Capricorn, but it's not going to be retrograde that whole time. Fortunately, Mercury, this is going to give you some quickness. Mercury is a quick energy, and it has to do with communication. And we're looking at it here with Libra in the 7th house. There could be communication with a partner, like a lot of communication over the month of July, especially because we have that Lovers card coming out in the future also. Up here with the midheaven, we have Saturn. So by the time it gets to this point, that's going to be a very established energy. And what's going to be sparking that off is this Mars energy. Mars is about passion. It's about drive and having the energy to act. Mars is in Leo right now and will be throughout the month of July. And then Saturn is in Aquarius and it is retrograde right now. So Mars and Saturn actually are going to be in opposition to each other at some point over the month of July, I believe. Let me see what that looks like. Oh, I got them reversed. So what starts out with this passion here is going to end up with this establishment later on. And let me see when we might have an opposition between Mars and Saturn. Surely it's going to happen at some point, right? So Jupiter does retrograde back into Aquarius at some point and will be opposite Mars in Leo right before Mars goes into Virgo. And then August 1st, the Sun in Leo is going to be opposite Saturn in Aquarius. But I don't see Saturn in direct opposition to Mars at any point. That's very interesting. Venus and Mars will be conjunct on Tuesday the 13th. Yeah, I don't see a Mars-Saturn opposition. I'm checking very hard. Oh, yes, here it is. Okay. That's going to occur on July 1st. So, sorry that it took me so long to nail that down. But July 1st could be the day that kicks off all of this action. It certainly will be the first day of the month, so that would be very topical for this reading in particular. And then remember that we're going to this entire moon cycle over the course of July. So the moon will be in Taurus July 3rd, and then we'll be in Taurus again the 31st. Alright, so we're on the Scorpio reading. Sorry, I got a little disoriented from going through my day planner. Scorpio, thank you so much for joining me. If this reading resonated with you, please let me know down in the comments. I always enjoy our time together greatly, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome back. So this will be the reading for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of July 2021. So, first of all, we have the Nine of Wands crossed by the Death card. It looks like there's been a lot of transition in your life. Excuse me. And it's making you defensive. It's putting you on the defensive, okay? In the past, we have the Page of Swords. This Page of Swords is just learning how to wield that sword. There could have been a change that you instigated, but perhaps you didn't think it all the way through before doing so. In the current situation, we have the Five of Pentacles. You could feel left out in the cold regarding something. This could be your emotional life. It could be related to your living situation. It could be related to many different sectors of your life. Anywhere where you feel like you've been left out in the cold. Although keep in mind that these people could easily go inside of that church and get aid, but there are probably reasons why they are not doing that. From your perspective, you see this as a victory. The Five of Swords is a card of victory, but it's a very harsh kind of a card, in that you may have alienated friends. From an outside perspective, somebody thinks that you are mismanaging your finances. Or from the outside, it might look like you are mismanaging your finances. That is the Page of Pentacles there. In the future, we have the Two of Pentacles, so you could be headed into a period of imbalance, or that imbalance could be continuing. Another possibility with that card is that you will have balance in the future, but the means by which you obtain it are not yet apparent. So the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse here is showing up in your hopes and fears. You could be hoping to quit a job, or you could be afraid that you've put a lot of hard work into something and that there won't be a payout for that. Up here, so the current situation where we have that Five of Pentacles, I call this the emumsi lie, because that's where it would lie on your astrological chart. And then it leads directly to the events of the midheaven. So what we have here with the midheaven is the Four of Cups reversed. And with the Four of Cups, it's like you have a handful of options, but none of them are exactly what you want. So that is something which potentially could be opening up for you in the future. When it shows up in the reverse like that and it's in the future, it could be that you do not yet see those options coming towards you. In the final outcome, we have the Eight of Wands. So this is a swift ending, and it might come quite suddenly and startle you. Oh, I just noticed this. This is really cute. That there are so many butterflies on this card. I really like that. Cute little butterflies. So some of these positions, like this Two of Pentacles and this Four of Cups, it's not really apparent exactly what that means. So let's pull these astrology cards and do the 12 houses spread. So typically, if I am doing a personal reading for somebody, I'm going to go very in-depth into all the meanings of the cards. But because this is a general reading and I want to have all of the readings be in one video, I am going to be focusing on the past, present, and future energies. And so I'm not going to go in depth into every single card, but I am going to talk about the overarching energies. I'm going to talk about past, present, and future. So here in the past, we had that Page of Swords. We have Pisces energy here in the beginning of the month, using your intuition, and there could be something that is coming to an end in the beginning of the month, which would be why we had the Death card there. Transitional energy. At the end of July, we have Sagittarius energy. So this could be about elevating the self. This could be about seeking enlightenment, moving forward. Here in the future, we have Leo in the 6th house of daily routines and health. Now, Leo is associated with the heart, so if you have heart issues, pay attention to that in July. But then, on top of that, Leo is creativity and romance, so you might be integrating your creative process into your daily routines. We have Libra coming out in the 7th house, which is its native house. It's the house of partnerships, and it also has to do with court cases and open enemies. This is where we seek parity with others. How are we alike other people? How are we alike with other people? Sorry. So there could be a highlight on your close relationships in the month of July, whether that is a romantic partnership, a business partnership, or even a court case. Down here near the Imam we have Cancer in the 3rd house and Capricorn in the 4th house of home and family. So Capricorn in the 4th house, you could be working from home. Cancer in the 3rd house, that is Capricorn in its detriment. However, Cancer in the 3rd house has to do with the reciprocity of emotions with other people as it regards family, like siblings, short distance travel, and communication. So really hashing out your emotional energies with other people through communication in the month of July, possibly. Up here in the midheaven, we have, remember this, this Four of Cups in the reverse that we were looking at. We have Aries in the 9th house, so a new beginning to your spiritual growth. and Aquarius in the 10th house of career. So that could have to do with social media groups, or it could be a company which is working on brand new technologies no one has ever used before. So just to recap this part over here, because you have Libra in the 7th house, I feel like in the future you will be finding some kind of balance. Libra, the scales having a lot to do with balance. And now I'm going to lay out the planetary cards on top of this whole spread. So in the past we have Jupiter and Mars, and of course Jupiter is retrograde in Pisces at this time. So that expansion of psychic awareness, possibly. And then Mars is going to be in Leo until the end of the month, when it will be passing into the sign of Virgo. So watch out for neuroses at the end of the month. And your sign being there in that ending. So coming into your own energies at the end of the month. But watch out for what Mars is doing at that time. In the future, we have Neptune and Pluto energies. And Pluto has been in Capricorn for the past at least year and a half, and will continue to remain in Capricorn into 2022. And so, and is retrograde right now. That has been causing a lot of turmoil for people in their professional lives and in their careers. And Neptune is also about intuition and your relationship with your higher power. So, an appeal to a higher power at this time may benefit you when it comes to your career. Down here in the emomsili, we have the moon, and the moon is here near Cancer and Capricorn. We just had that solar eclipse with the full moon in Capricorn. No, the solar eclipse was like with Gemini. We just had the full moon though at the end of June, so June 24th, in Capricorn. And then the sun is in Cancer whenever you have a full moon in Capricorn. So this could be a reference to that these current situations of feeling left out in the cold is actually occurring at the end of June and not quite into July yet. But now remember that all of this down here is going to set you up for what's occurring up here in the midheaven area with that Four of Cups in reverse. And we have Venus here. So to me, that says that you will have those options available to you, and there will be something there that is very appealing for you in the future. Alright, Sagittarius. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. If it resonated with you, please let me know down in the comments. I always greatly enjoy our time together, and I look forward to seeing you again very, moon and rising for the month ahead, which is July of 2021. We're starting out here with the High Priestess in reverse, crossed by the Ace of Wands, so you might not have all of the details, but you're definitely ready to act on something. The Ace of Wands is a very potent creative energy. I don't see the Magician here, so probably not directly for manifestation. But definitely taking action on something. In the past, we have the Wheel of Fortune, so there could have been a turn in your favor as far as fortune is concerned. So the Strength card is coming out here in the current situation in the reverse. It might be that strength is not required here, or it might be that you do not have strength, but that's confusing because the Ace of Wands is also coming out here in the upright or as a crossing card, which means that it is something that is augmenting the situation currently. So maybe you don't have a lot of strength, but you have a lot of energy. That might be the case. Or perhaps your weakness is that you do not have enough information. That could be a weakness too. Remember that this situation is going to lead directly to what we have up here in the midheaven position. This is the Imam Silai. So, from your perspective, we have the Page of Wands. So a energetic kind of vibe going on. Very much aligned with this Ace of Wands energy. So lots of energy, lots of fire, a good spark to keep going with what you are pursuing, but not a lot of information to go on. From the outside perspective, we have the Lover's card, so people from the outside looking in could see that you are in a relationship, or they could see that you have a choice that you need to make. In the future, we have the Three of Cups, which is about very close friendships and alliances. These are people who can count on each other when they need support. Up in the hopes and fears, you have the Four of Pentacles, so that you hope that you're able to hold on to something tightly enough, whether that is a relationship or it could be resources. So up here in the midheaven, remember I said that this card down here with the Strength card in the reverse, that is going to be the circumstance which leads directly to the events in the midheaven, and we have the Chariot card upright, so some kind of victory there. And your final outcome card is the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is a very nurturing and loving person, but can be kind of secretive about her own emotional states. Let's put out the 12 houses spread now with the astrological cards. So, usually when I do a personal reading, I will go in depth into detail about each and every card, but because these are general readings and because I want to make sure everything can be included in one video, I am going to deal with these in a more general way, and I'm going to focus on past, present, and future. So over here in the 1st and 12th houses, the beginning and the end of the month, we have Taurus at the beginning of the month. So your mind on your finances and your stability, those things being highlighted. At the end of the month, we have Virgo, and Mars is going to be entering Virgo toward the end of July. We'll be in Leo for all of July. Virgo is putting a highlight on details and thinking analytically. In the future, in the 6th house, we have Aries. So 6th house is daily routines. You could be beginning a new daily or health routine in July. And in the 7th house, we have Gemini. So typically the 7th house is about how you seek parity with other people. What do I have in common with my partner? What do I have in common with my open enemies? But Gemini is these two twins asking, how are we different? What are the differences between us? So, it could be a partnership, which feels very much like a sibling relationship. And that there's always kind of a push and pull of how are we alike and how are we different. Also could be communications about a relationship or within a relationship. Down here by the imam in the 3rd house, we have Sagittarius. So, short distance travel or communication related to, could be higher education. This would be Sagittarius in its detriment, actually, that you are lowering the vibration of the situation so that you can bring Sagittarius down to being a Gemini frequency. You also have Aquarius in your 4th house of home and family. So you could be moving to a brand new place, or you could be living in a situation like a commune or having lots of roommates, or if you live in an apartment building with lots of other residents, or if you had been living in a house and then you move into an apartment building, that could also be Aquarius energy, just because then you would be surrounded by many more people. Up here around the midheaven, so that's up by this Chariot card, that's going to be the outcome of everything that's going on in the MMC currently. We have Scorpio in the 10th house. So your career could have to do with other people's money. If you are like a money management broker or something like that. And then you have Capricorn in the 9th house, so that you are looking for enlightenment through your career, and you will have victory in that regard. So now I'm going to lay out the planetary cards just to tie up any loose ends here. back here, the end of this cycle might actually come in late August or September when the sun enters Virgo. Here at the beginning of the month we have Jupiter, so expansion. Remember that Jupiter is in Pisces right now and that it is retrograde, so there might be a great expansion of your consciousness in regards to psychic intuition. Down here by the USM we have the moon, and that is going to have to do with, let's see, so moon in Sagittarius, going into moon in Aquarius in July. That's going to be the week of the 19th. So July 19th through the 25th is going to be that cycle. So that could be when all of these situations kind of culminate. And the moon is very much about things not being fully illuminated. So again, we're going to be looking at this High Priestess in reverse energy, and as you can see, she doesn't want to come into focus there. So any secrets that are currently being held from you that week of the 19th through the 25th of July, secrets might be revealed to you, information might be revealed to you that will allow you to move forward. Because I think that your weakness right now is that that information is being withheld from you. Up here in the midheaven, we have Pluto. And Pluto is up here with Scorpio and with Capricorn. So Pluto is native to Scorpio, has a lot to do with transitions, and then Pluto is currently in Capricorn and is retrograde there and will be in Capricorn well into 2022. So that energy has been very transitional regarding people's careers and professional lives for some time now. But there will be a victory coming through for you because of this transitional energy. So just stay your own course and trust the process. In the future here, we have Mercury and we have Saturn. So that's very interesting because these are two contradicting energies. Anytime that Mercury and Saturn are hanging out with each other, it's very kind of divergent energy. Mercury is very fast and Saturn is very slow. So it could be one of these things where you hurry and then you get stuck, and then you hurry and then you get stuck. Kind of like spurting forward and then kind of taking a couple steps back from that. But not like one step forward, two steps back, just that it's going to be very stop and start. Alright, Capricorn, well, thank you so much for joining me for your July 2021 tarot reading. If this resonated with you, please let me know down in the comments. I greatly enjoy our time together, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hello, Aquarius. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. It is time now for the Aquarius Sun, Moon, and Rising tarot forecast for July of 2021. So starting out, we have the Three of Cups crossed by the Nine of Pentacles, looks like this is a very financially secure time for you, and that you are surrounded by close friends who are allies, who are very loyal. In the past here, we have the King of Cups. So he's in the reverse. It could have been a time when you were going through a severe bout of depression. It could have been that you were dating somebody who was a water sign in the past, and that they could have been unfaithful to you, and then you could have broken up. We have here in the current situation the Four of Swords. So if this is pertaining to your romantic life, you could be having a rest from dating people. You could be taking a respite from that. If this King of Cups was like a bout of depression, then you will be recovering from that. And there are other situations which are analogous, so I trust you to take it as it applies. Take it as it applies. These are general readings after all. So from your perspective, you are getting over a disappointment of some kind. And from an outside perspective, you have a lot of options available to you, but you are not taking any of them just yet. And I mean, look at this. So we've got the 4 and 5 of Cups here, and then between them we have the 4 of Swords. So I think that everyone's perspective of your reality is pretty evenly weighted. These are not totally disparate from each other. In the future, we have the 5 of Swords, so that's a victory of some kind. If there was an infidelity of some kind, you could end up being justified in that situation. And I don't typically read like that there was an infidelity of some kind in a relationship, but I am kind of getting that impression for somebody in regards to this reading, so that's why I'm using that example. But it could be that in the current situation you're biding your time, and that in the future you will be ready to go on the offensive and have that decisive yet divisive victory. Because as you can see from this card, there are people retreating and they have left their swords behind. So it's the kind of victory that might cost you friendships. Probably not. These people that you are currently aligned with, though, those people seem to be very loyal. In your hopes and fears, we have the 7 of Swords in the reverse. You're hoping that you will be able to uncover betrayals. I don't think you're as much afraid of being betrayed as you are hoping that you'll be able to see these things as they crop up. It doesn't look like they're going to be as much a part of your life in the future, though, I can tell you that. So, in the current position, we have this 4 of Swords. This rest is going to lead you ultimately to this King of Wands energy. Now, the King of Wands is showing up here in the reverse, but that could mean that you do not yet see how this is going to come to pass. That King of Wands is a very potent, charming, creative, and capable person. And if you have fire sign energy in your chart, that King of Wands could be speaking directly to you, having that fire sign energy in your chart, but it could also just be that you have this creative spark, this energy, this, that you're able to hold people captive with your charisma. And the final outcome, we have the Justice card in the reverse. So, this could mean that you do not get your justice, or that justice is not fully served in the end. But it could also mean that the mechanisms by which justice will be achieved have not yet become apparent. So, we will look at that a little more closely when we pull out the astrological cards. Now, Aquarius, typically when I do a personal reading, I'm going to go very in-depth into all of the cards, but because these are general and condensed readings, I am going to focus on the past, present, and future, and I'm not going to go over every single card. Now, I will say that Virgo is coming out here in the 11th house, near the Justice card. So, Virgo is about attention to detail, and Aquarius can be about new ideas, but it can also be about social media. So if you are stalking somebody's social media, I would recommend not doing that, because then it will never feel like justice has been served. So I did want to clear that up. We have Capricorn and Aquarius in the 1st and 12th houses. So Aquarius, you're starting off the month strongly in your own energy. And then by the ending of the month, we have this Capricorn energy coming through. So that could be getting a new job, or it could be being very practically minded relating to some matters. In the future, we have Gemini in the 6th house of your daily routines and health. And that has to do with duality, it has to do with siblings, can have to do with communication. So there could be a lot of communication about putting things on your calendar, or communication about health, but I see it more as communication about adding things to your calendar. Maybe you have a Google Calendar, and it is able to be edited by different people. So we have Taurus in your 7th house of relationships. And so this is going to be stability in your close personal relationships, whether this is a romantic or business partnership, or it could even be open enemies or court cases, that things are going to be stable there. I do want to point out that while we have Virgo in the 11th house, we have Libra in opposition to that in the 5th house. So it does look more and more like there is going to be some injustice that goes unfulfilled by the end of, or that goes unresolved by the end of July. Not necessarily that you are going to be the worse off for it. In fact, because we have that 5 of Swords there, you could be the perpetuator of the injustice in some way. Down here in the MMCLI, where we have that 4 of Swords, we have Aries in the 3rd house, and we have Leo in the 4th house of home and family. So a lot of creativity and romance in the home. Could also be children in the home, or going back to live with your parents, or living with your parents. Aries in the third house could be a beginning of communication or of short distance travel. And then up here in the midheaven position, where we have that King of Wands in the reverse, we have Pisces in the 9th house of higher education and long distance travel and spiritual matters. So there's going to be intuition there and possibly endings. And then we have Cancer in the 10th house, which is in its detriment. So it could be working from home. That's a possibility. But it could also be over-analyzing things in the workplace, emotionally speaking. Being too concerned about the reciprocity of emotions within a workplace. So that King of Wands could be, from the current perspective, unattainable. Unless you are able to get out of your feelings about certain things. That's not necessarily a strong Aquarian trait, but that is kind of the impression I'm getting here from the cards. So I'm certainly not telling you that you're a bad person. It's just a recommendation. Okay, so I'm going to lay the planets out here on top of the reading. And we're going to be looking at this moon in Capricorn. Is that going to be toward the end of July? When is the moon going to be in Capricorn? The moon is going to be in Capricorn from Wednesday, the 21st of July, until Friday, the 23rd. And then also on the 23rd is going to be the full moon in Aquarius. So think about that. We do have the moon and Neptune here. 2 octaves of the same note is the moon and Neptune. So pay attention to your emotions and also pay attention to your intuition at this time. In the future, we have Saturn and Uranus. So Saturn is retrograde in your sign right now. And the Saturn retrograde is going to last until October 11th is when Saturn is going to go direct again. And this period of time is going to be very good for you as far as anything you really want to get established. But then as far as anything that you are trying to get rid of or moving energy in your life, I recommend focusing more on establishing things that you already have going on. Now, we have Uranus here with Saturn, and remember that Saturn used to previously be the ruler of the sign of Aquarius. And then once Uranus was discovered, Uranus supplanted Saturn as the ruler of Aquarius. And Uranus is the iconoclast. He is very attuned to creating new ideas and new experiences, novelty. Down here in the Imam Sili, we have Mars, which is going to be an energy. So right now, you are building up your energy by taking this long break, this respite, recovery. We also have Mars down here next to Leo, and Mars is going to be in Leo for most of July. And then this what is going on right now is going to lead to this expansion in the future. So up here with the midheaven, remember we have this King of Wands reversed. So you have the potential to become this King of Wands, but it is important that you approach this energy in the right way and not be too tied up in your feelings about it, but focus on being charismatic and in charming others. And then this Jupiterian energy is also aligned with fire energy, and is all about wealth and expansion and bringing in wealth and expansion for you in the future. So, Aquarius, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. If it resonated with you, please let me know down in the comments. I always greatly enjoy our time together, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Hello, Pisces. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Pisces, this is going to be your reading for Sun, Moon, and Rising signs for the month of July 2021. Let's look at the current situation. So, there could be an end to some kind of stress in your life, and that end is going to be coming about because you're also reaching the end of an emotional cycle. So this could be a breakup that was a long time in coming, but it could also be working something out with somebody with whom you're very close, whether that's a partner or a family member or a very close friend, working through something and coming to the end of that emotional cycle as well, but it's going to be the end to that stress. In the past, we have the Four of Wands, and it's in the reverse. So, the Four of Wands can be about marriage or a celebration, and because this card is reversed, it could also be that there was a divorce in the past, or that there are celebrations which have come to an end. It's also possible that you were engaged to somebody in the past and you broke off the engagement. You could have even been planning a party with a friend and had a falling out over the planning of the party, and then ended up working through it, but you're still probably not going to have that party after all. In the current situation, we have the Five of Swords reversed. So the Five of Swords is a victory at the expense of friendships. And because this card is showing up reversed for you, Pisces, you might be the one walking away here from this other person. You might have lost out in that situation. From your perspective, you feel like things are taking a long time. We have the Eight of Wands here in the reverse, which is a swift ending. So if it's showing up reversed, then that is things being dragged out, being drawn out. From the outside perspective, we have the Six of Cups. Maybe somebody is wondering why you won't just move on already from a particular situation. Here in the future, we have the Ace of Pentacles reversed. So it could be that you have the potential for money, a new beginning where money is concerned in the future. But it could also be that this is a Fata Morgana, and the closer you get, the further away it appears. Your hopes and fears. We have the Seven of Wands in the reverse. So it could be that you're hoping that you will no longer be the object of scrutiny. So the midheaven up here is going to be the direct result of what we had here in the Imam Sili, which was this Five of Swords reversed. Some kind of concession or a loss on your part. But coming out of that, we have the Knight of Cups reversed. Being very caught up in your emotions, possibly. And being controlled by those emotions. I don't know why he won't focus. It's because he's got too many tears in his eyes. So, a lot of times on the Knight of Cups card, the Knight actually does not have the reins of the horse in his hand. He's just allowing the horse to walk by itself. But being too caught up in your own emotions to maybe move on from this. The final outcome we have is the Chariot reversed. So this might be a victory, but it's like very far off into the future, so that you cannot see it just yet. You cannot see the means by which this will come to pass. Alright, so now I'm going to lay out the 12 houses spread, and Pisces, I want to let you know that if I were reading for you personally, if you ordered a personal reading, I would go through each and every card and describe it in great detail. But because this is a general reading, and because I want to condense all of these readings into one video, I am going to focus on what is relevant to the past, present, and future. So out here in the past, where we had that Four of Wands reversed, in the beginning of the month we have Leo. Now keep in mind that Venus and Mars are in Leo at this time and will be for most of July. So this could be referencing those energies, which are very good for relationships. It's very strong energy, passionately. Leo being a fire sign. Leo is also to do with creativity and romance. Romance, and also children, and possibly your childhood or being someone's child. So it could also be you getting in touch with your parents or getting in touch with a child at the beginning of the month. Your Taurus is in the 12th house, so I sense from this that the end of July will be much more stable for you than the beginning. Out here in the future, we have Aries in the 6th house of daily routines and your health. So you could be starting a new health regimen or a new daily routine. We have Gemini here in the 7th house of partnerships. So, you could have a partner who is a Gemini, and this person might be very hot and cold with you. Gemini is also to do with siblings, so it could be somebody with whom you have a very sibling-like relationship. And then also Gemini is a sign of two siblings asking how are we different, whereas the 7th house is all about finding parity. How are we alike? So there could be a lot of like, how are we different? How are we alike? How does that reconcile? You know, are we complementary to each other across the board? Everybody's having a bad time. I'm sorry to hear that. I think it's been a while since I've heard a siren over here, actually. So the MMC where we have this Five of Swords reversed. We also have the card of Scorpio in the 3rd house, and we have Virgo in the 4th house. So, Virgo can be daily routines related to your home and family. It can also be attention to detail, and it can be analytical thinking regarding your home life. And can also have to do with like your family as well. So there might be, because we have the Leo card here in the beginning of the month, and we have Virgo here for home and family, you might be working some things out with your parents. It wouldn't necessarily be estate planning, but we do have the Scorpio card here in the 3rd house, so there could be communication with parents about estate planning. And especially if you live with your parents, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. Scorpio here in the 3rd house is also short distance travel and short distance travel communication, and then can also have to do with siblings and your neighborhood, your immediate surroundings. So transitions regarding those things, and then also other people's property, other people's resources. So because of this all going on down here in the MMC, all of this is going to culminate in the occurrences which happen up here in the midheaven, where we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. And there we have your sign Pisces in the 9th house, and we have Libra in the 10th house. And so a Libra, you could be going into law, or you could be a pastor and marrying people, or a marriage counselor or something like that, coming in for your career energy in the 10th house. Pisces, your energy showing up here in the 9th house. Using your psychic intuition and being true to the self in order to elevate your vibration and to raise yourself up to a higher consciousness. I think a lot of people actually this month ended up getting the Pisces card in their 9th house. So that's very interesting. A lot of people interested in spirituality right now, and Sagittarius and Pisces, because of course the 9th house is Sagittarius's native house, and Sagittarius and Pisces are both mutable energy, so they're square to each other, and it's kind of an interesting aspect, because even though Pisces is water and Sagittarius is fire, there are ways in which those energies are still very complementary to each other because they're both mutable signs. So I'm going to lay out the planetary energies now. And sure enough, we have Neptune up here by Pisces. Neptune has been in Pisces for some time now and is retrograde right now, but is very much just like in its energy in the month of July. Neptune retrograde is going to last how long? Neptune retrograde will last until December 1st of this year. So for you, Pisces, this is going to be an excellent time to really get well aligned with yourself, because Neptune is native to your sign. And so very much a time to be attuned to your higher power, get in touch with your spirituality and to elevate your vibration. We do have Venus showing up down here near the MMC, so that shows me that this perceived loss with the Five of Swords reverse might have been in the realm of romance. Venus is also money, so if this had to do with estate planning and you found out something about the estate planning, like your parents were planning to not leave you as much money or any money, or they're leaving it all to your sibling or something like that, Venus would have to do with that as well. Back here in the past arena, we have Mercury and Uranus, so lots of new ideas were coming in around this time when this Four of Wands situation was kind of like supposed to come together. It seems very much like a situation that everyone thought was going to come together, and then it ended up falling apart at the last minute or something. Remember, a Four of Wands could have been a marriage, but it could have also been just some kind of celebration. This could have even been a graduation, and then you ended up not graduating or something like that. And then in the future, we have Saturn and the Sun, and we have the Sun in Gemini energy coming out here, so that would have been very strong in June. And because Neptune is going retrograde here at the end of June, there might be a carrying forward of some of these Gemini energies throughout the month of July for you, actually. So I don't know if you have Gemini in your chart or if you were in a relationship with a Gemini and some things are happening regarding that. That's a possibility. Saturn here is a very established energy. Saturn is in Aquarius right now and is retrograde until October, I think. And so this Saturn in Aquarius is a very slow moving, because it's retrograde now, it's almost moving backwards. Very established kind of an energy. So I think that the key to this Ace of Pentacles is not going to be starting something brand new from scratch. I think this Ace of Pentacles is an opportunity for you to reinvigorate money-making opportunities that you already have available to you in the month of July and moving forward, Pisces. So for the month of July, it could be a good time to refocus those efforts. Pisces, thank you so much for joining me for your July 2021 Sun, Moon, and Rising sign reading. If you enjoyed this reading, let me know what resonated with you down in the comments. I always greatly enjoy our time together, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. What we have here in the wax. This looks like a dog frolicking, or a fox frolicking, or possibly a raccoon or a tanuki. And it looks like it's got a butterfly upon its nose. So I do get the sense of the wonderment of everything around us. It's important to remember too that if you do see it as a tanuki, that it is believed that they can transform themselves into human form and live among us without being detected. If you've ever seen that movie movie Pompoko, which I can never watch again because it was too sad, but it's a very good movie. And they decide that rather than have their habitat totally destroyed, many of them decide to live as humans. And the very end of the movie, spoiler alert, is that it's very difficult to maintain a human life when you are accustomed to the freedom of being a tanuki. So I think that is the takeaway from the crystal scrying this month.